Hello, welcome back. So previously we were laying out the pathway at the back. This is because we are anticipating to lay down some public transportation. So one of my favorite public transportation is actually trams. So if you look at trams, they have this trams path or trams rail on top of roads. That's what usually people see in the city. But what I'm trying to do is to try to somehow use this independent track rather. So you have the opportunity to somehow allow the traffic to be independent. So it will not, be congesting the roads, because as you go down the line, you will have a lot more services that is, crucial to in the need of space on the road. So I will just let that be the priority. So right now, we just lay down some, tracks, and this track is fairly independent. So you can see that the tracks going up and down. The reason why I did that is because I'm trying to minimize the intersection, between the track and the road below. So the idea is to ensure that the track free from traffic in a way. And try to somehow have a minimize the contact or creating intersections. Unnecessary intersection will slow down traffic and also reduce the efficiency of our tram service. So it looks like this. It goes up and down a bit. It looks a bit funky, but it's actually worked. It worked really well. So at the end, what we can do is we can try to tie the knot per se to create a circuit. So this circuit also in a way will become sort of like one of the main stop or station. It's important to keep your track short, so the time spent to complete a cycle is shorter, in order to improve your efficiency. So sort of like a interloop, this one-way loop. And of course we need to extend the line or the service to the commercial area. Maybe we can have a stop here, going up. And then maybe we can go down here again, maybe after the road. Try to minimize the interruption so the flow of the traffic below will run like normal. Right, we're already out of bounds, so we can't tie a knot. So what we could do, we could buy the next plot of land, which is good because we have taken up this highway that's been built for us. So in a way, it's sort of like a free infrastructure in a way. So we can have that road laid here. We can make a knot. Of course, we will change the knot location from time to time as we grew our network. So this is the network. Let's just set up our tram first. The tram service will need sort of like a road. Unfortunately, even though I prefer my service, my tram service don't rely on roads. Unfortunately, the game is restricting it. Maybe what we can do, we clear some area because I want it to be as short as possible. To ensure that we have the most efficient, and we can upgrade this portion to have some tram. Now we are ready to create a line as we connected the tram station or tram depot to the line. So this is going to be our first line. So we're going to start from maybe here, so that maybe there's one station here. That looks nice, and you go and travel and stop maybe somewhere here, servicing the population there. You can see the radius of effect and stopping by at the commercial area, and eventually the eventual future development, and of course one in this loop for the industrial. And as we go back, we're gonna stop more or less the same positioning with a slight alteration of positioning. So I'm not trying to put as much station as possible, as each station will there will be some time incurred to it, so I don't want it to take so long to finish a line. So let's just try see that the tram is coming out. One tram has this capacity of 90 passengers, maybe 30 each cabin, and there will be multiple tram assigned to it. So you can see the tram tracks right now, it looks like this, and there will be a signage which indicate that it's a tram service. So the tram gonna go and make a loop and eventually straight go to the housing estate. And you can see this is our first service, our first cycle. So there will be a little bit congestion there. And as we go down the line, we can see people lines start to form, and you can see in commercial area it's fairly accessible, but we can improve that accessibility or usage of the station by adding additional pathway and sort of like guiding people toward the station. So this could be used for the people to actually access the station from this road without going through the vehicular road. So the idea was to create this spine, in between or behind the zoning lots, become the connector. Okay, but of course you can see that right now we have these two sides of a commercial area. So maybe we want to somehow improve the connectivity. So what I want to do instead is sort of like a pedestrian flyover, try to somehow bridge these two areas because there's a road in between. So we try to make a nice sort of flyover. You will start seeing people traveling on this path. You can see the pedestrian walkway. Actually, the station attract people to use this back lane per se. So it become now a bit more connected, and you can see the lines right now is filling up. Okay, you has a lot of people are actually using the service. So you can see, yeah, bicycle as well are welcoming more zones for commercial, of course, with additional tram line in mind that we can add later on. So obviously there will be a lot of businesses interested to invest in this well-connected master plan. What we're trying to somehow bridge, and for now, since we don't have that much density, so we need to cover more area with houses. Okay, since we don't have large density, sort of use area instead. So housing is actually, demand for housing is skyrocketing, and people are interested to live in a well-planned city, definitely. So hopefully this is what we are aiming for, and we can add our last sort of stretch of roads as the as a border between like the residential and commercial developments. We want to make it as continuous as possible, so we maintain the integrity of the grid. Okay, obviously this could benefit from some linkage. Okay, sometimes in order to since this the station is here, so maybe it's good for us to penetrate the pedestrian there, so it's easy to go there. It's fairly popular station here. Definitely you can see the amount of people there, and trams coming from the south is mostly, some of them full. This one definitely can't take any more passengers, but the subsequent one hopefully can cater the needs. So we're trying to make sure that people from the front row can easily travel to the back row. Yeah, in a way, people are using the tram bridges as a circulatory means as well, so there's a plus point. We can continue to do this, try to, the more we connect, the better it will be. Even with the introduction of new service, we're still able to finance that without, going into any industry and whatnot. So it's a good base to start with. It's connected. It's a small city. It's well defined. You can easily control. I think control is is important, so that you get the best out of it. Definitely this area will need a bit more work, and try to somehow ensure that don't run into very complicated intersection. Okay, so we have some sick people. I think we should address that. We can put some of the services maybe here. We can connect some of it. We can penetrate the public building with some of these pedestrian walkways. So the blocks is permeable. Okay, let's just try to keep it consistent, maintain the integrity of the town planning. We should not zone here. This will be sort of like a buffer. Public parks and public facilities, schools and whatnot will be there in the between. As we reach some level of maturity on this particular part of our town, we can add additional tram line, and it will be in the same more or less concept as the previous one. So I would just try to lay down some tracks. There's not much traffic gonna be around here, so we can overlap there, but as we go through the road, we need to show that. Of course, the residents will not be happy due to the fact that there is a tram track running behind their houses, but in infrastructural projects, we need to be pragmatic and try to understand the greater good of a particular interventions. So I'm just gonna build some of this RAM going up and down. As I mentioned previously, it works because we try to save the intersection that we produce down in the grade level, and this is where we're gonna tie our knot. And of course, as I mentioned, the knot will move as we move our developments. So people can travel to the page, I think. Yeah. So we have the second line here. Definitely we can add additional programs or zoning to somehow substantiate and garner enough interest for people to actually use the service. So we can zone additional commercial lots. Right now the roads, the path is ready, but unfortunately there is no train or tram going that way, so we kind of need to create our own, maybe we'll use curve maybe for this to go to the other side. Yeah, something like that. Now for the station, again, we will start from here. This is a good spot, so you can cover people around here. And then there's a park there, so good to stop here. Maybe here before the road, so when the tram stops, it will not block the road. Another one. This is one for the workers. And then one here. Okay, maybe one here, because it's a residential. Yeah, maybe one here, and then I will skip this one. I will just go directly there. So it's important to keep them moving. So right now, tram in use will increase as additional tram in line 2, tram line 2 is departing to their respective stops. Maybe I would delete this, so just create this road exclusively for going to this tram station. Okay, so the tram stations hopefully are working well, not disrupting any roads. Maybe we can see how are they performing. Actually it's good. Actually the numbers reflected here, 219, is not reflective of the actual users, to be honest, but there must be some some consideration how did it get to that number. But as we grew, maybe we can see some of the businesses, most of them has full employment, and you can see some of the commercial are starting to have this blue bar. They are upgrading to the next level, which eventually they will need a more educated worker to actually work in their premise. So we'll wait for that, let them mature, and then eventually if there's a need to, we will start deploying educational services. Okay, Right, so let's just try to use this as the final line of industrial. Okay, so that will become our guide. This particular road will become our guide. Okay, so we will just zone them. We have to improve our industrial pedestrian linkage. We haven't done that in order to extend our efficiency. So we can see it stops there. So maybe we can extend this path so people can actually walk. So right now, for some reason, it's not that popular. So we need to work on that. There's one station here as well. So maybe we can extend this, try to make an elevated. Yes, let's try to extend the station. Let's try to get people to go to this. Okay, going down. So let's connect them up so that they will be less reliant on vehicles or private vehicles or motorized, and let the all the services or the utility vehicle to dominate the road, so we delay need to upgrade the road. So our landfill processing status is bad. Maybe we can introduce a recycling center. One recycling center maybe here. Wow, it's snuck nicely. Yeah, maybe somewhere here, maybe. So we can try to somehow use some of the material in the nearby industry. That's what they do. Obviously, we are out of space. Then maybe we need to start optimizing some of the leftovers area, and then try to somehow, accommodate more people. I think because of the whole investment on the tram services, which definitely not that profitable, to be honest, because we are providing a service. But right, so we are collecting only 300 and we are spending 1,000. It's not making any profit, as I already anticipate. But it's fine. It's a service to the city. Hopefully when density is slightly more, we will make some profit for the system to be self-sustaining. You can see, maybe we can analyze people coming home, being dropped off. It's not that full. It could have been better. Maybe we should. It's half full. How about this line? This line is particularly new. Trying to bring in some money, bring in some residential tax from the new late water piping. Yeah, by then hopefully we have a good, sustainable transport system. Now, some of the few facilities are in need right now. The cemetery is definitely one of them. But while waiting, we can just continue to improve. But this station is not that popular. Well, there's not much going on at the end of the line, but it's fine. We still need to service all those people. Kind of have to. So connecting more parts of the neighborhood, really. Spending money, try to make sure that it's walkable and your city block or city row is permeable by just walking or cycling. Try to connect as much as possible. You can see that even though we are doing this rigid grade with a very small road, we're still able or particularly good in handling traffic. Definitely there's a lot of jobs available, but no people are working because we don't have enough housing. Residential zoning, we can address that, we can add a bit more. So we need to find a way to leverage on our tram system. Right now it works independently. We can have a line that goes horizontally, maybe somewhere in this particular grade, maybe this grade, so that people can interchange. So they're going to be a super short line, and then as the city grew left and right, it could grow as well. So that will be covered in the next episode. Take care.